Dear friends, I want you to know that no matter what has happened in your life, you have the power to heal and transform. Each one of us is born with a natural capacity to grow, to change, and to embrace joy. There is no such thing as being stuck. There is only a thought or a belief that holds you in place. But remember, a thought can always be changed. When you truly love yourself, miracles begin to happen. It's not about being selfish or arrogant. It's about respecting and honoring the magnificent being that you are. You are deserving of all good things, and the love you seek is already within you, waiting to be uncovered and nurtured. Start by letting go of self-criticism and judgment. When you criticize yourself, you only reinforce the very habits and behaviors you wish to release. Instead, begin to approve of yourself as you are. Tell yourself, I am worthy. I am enough. I am deserving of love and all the good things life has to offer. The power is within you right now to change your story. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, they shape your reality. So speak to yourself with kindness and compassion. Let every word be a healing balm that soothes your mind and nurtures your spirit. My dear friends, I know that there are times when life feels heavy and the world seems indifferent to your struggles. You may feel as though you are invisible, unheard, and that nobody truly cares. I want to acknowledge the pain that comes with that feeling. It is real, and it matters. But I also want you to know that there is a deeper truth, one that can transform this experience. You see, our worth is not determined by how much others notice or validate us. We are so much more than what we receive from the outside world. The most profound care, the kind that heals and uplifts, comes from within. It is the care we give ourselves in those quiet moments, the gentle ways in which we speak to our hearts when no one else is around. When we shift our focus from seeking approval to embracing self-acceptance, something magical happens. We realize that the love we seek is already present within us. We do not need to chase it from others or beg for it from the world. We are worthy of love simply because we exist. Yes, there may be times when it seems that nobody cares, but remember that the most important person in your life is you. When you care for yourself truly, deeply, and unconditionally, you begin to attract the right people into your life, those who recognize your light because they see it shining from within. Our thoughts and beliefs shape our experiences. If we believe that we are unloved or unworthy, we will see evidence of that in our world. But if we begin to tell ourselves a different story, a story of self-love and acceptance, we will notice how the world responds in kind. The universe reflects back to us the energy we put out, and when that energy is rooted in self-compassion, it creates a space where love and connection can flourish. I invite you to start changing the way you speak to yourself. Let every word be one of kindness and encouragement. Remind yourself that you are enough, just as you are, that you matter, that your feelings are valid, and most importantly, that you are never truly alone, for you are part of the great flow of life and love that surrounds us all. You may not always feel it, but love is present in every breath you take, in every step you walk. It flows through you and connects you to all living things. When you learn to care for yourself, you also tap into that universal love. And in doing so, you will find that even in the moments when it seems like nobody cares, you are surrounded by a deeper care that is infinite and everlasting. Know that you are loved. Know that you are worthy, and know that you always have the power to transform your experience by choosing love for yourself. In doing so, you will create a world where you not only feel cared for, but where your love and light touch the lives of others, even when they don't realize it. This speech aims to address feelings of loneliness and unworthiness while promoting a message of self-love and inner strength. Let me know if there are any adjustments you'd like. There are moments in life when we all feel like we're standing in a crowded room, yet nobody sees us. We speak, but our words seem to float into the air, unheard, as though they don't matter. These experiences are part of being human, and they can touch each of us, no matter who we are or what we've achieved. Feeling unseen or unheard can make us question our value, making it seem as though our very presence has faded into the background of life. But what if these moments don't define us? What if instead they are opportunities to turn inward and reconnect with the deepest parts of ourselves? Often when we feel unseen, it's a reflection of our own disconnection. We may have been so caught up in the world around us, in its demands and expectations, that we've forgotten to truly see and hear ourselves. We may have placed our worth in the hands of others, waiting for their approval or acknowledgement to feel like we matter. The truth is, we don't need to be validated by the outside world to be whole. Feeling unseen or unheard can be a wake-up call, a reminder that we have the power to recognize our own value. It invites us to look within, to listen to our own hearts, and to honor our feelings. We don't need to wait for someone else to notice us or to acknowledge our worth. We can give that to ourselves right here and now. Being seen and heard starts from within. When we acknowledge our own feelings and give them space to exist without judgment, we begin to heal the parts of ourselves that have felt neglected. When we speak kindly to ourselves and listen to our own needs, we begin to strengthen the inner connection that brings us back to our true selves. It is natural to seek recognition from others, but the most meaningful recognition comes from within. It is when we decide to truly see ourselves, to accept our experiences, emotions, and unique beauty, that we begin to radiate a light that others can't help but notice. Our value is not diminished by someone else's inability to see us. It is something that we carry with us at all times. These experiences can guide us toward greater self-awareness, offering the chance to heal and grow. When we understand that feeling unseen or unheard is a shared experience among all human beings, it reminds us of our common humanity. It connects us through empathy and understanding, showing us that we are not alone in our struggles. This version is designed to convey empathy while encouraging self-reflection and inner growth without concluding the keynote. It's important to recognize the hurt that comes when it feels like nobody cares. It's a wound that runs deep, often bringing a sense of isolation or even despair. This kind of pain can make it seem as though the world is a cold, unfeeling place and that your presence goes unnoticed. It's more than just a passing feeling. It can touch the core of who you are, making you question whether you matter or if you're valued. Acknowledge this pain. Don't push it aside or diminish it. There is nothing wrong with feeling this way. In fact, it's a sign of your humanity, a reflection of your longing for connection, for understanding, and for love. These emotions arise because you care deeply. They emerge from the natural desire to be seen, heard, and valued. When it feels like nobody cares, it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to cry, to express your sadness, and to admit that the weight feels heavy. You are not weak because you experience these emotions. You are simply human. And being human means having a heart that is open to both joy and sorrow. It means being vulnerable enough to let the fullness of life flow through you, even when that flow brings tears. There is a strength in allowing yourself to feel this pain, for it shows that you are not numb. It shows that you are alive, that you still have the capacity to care. This emotional pain does not define you, but it does invite you to look within and to be gentle with yourself. When you acknowledge it, you create space for healing to begin. It's not about dwelling on the pain or amplifying it. It's about letting it have a voice. It's about saying, yes, I am feeling hurt, and that is okay. It's an act of self-compassion to acknowledge your feelings rather than burying them or pretending they don't exist. By allowing yourself to recognize this pain, you are giving it the attention it needs to be released. Emotions are like waves. They rise and fall. When you acknowledge the wave, you allow it to pass through you rather than resisting it. When you validate your feelings, you honor the part of yourself that has felt neglected, and in doing so, you start to reclaim your power. You are not alone in your pain. This is a shared experience, something that all people feel at different times. You have the right to your feelings, and you have the right to give yourself the love and understanding that you may feel is lacking from others. The act of acknowledging your emotional pain is the first step towards healing. It's a reminder that you are worthy of care and that you deserve to be treated with kindness, especially by yourself. This expansion emphasizes the importance of acknowledging emotional pain with compassion, fostering a path toward healing and self-acceptance without providing a conclusion. One of the most freeing realizations we can come to is that our worth is not tied to the opinions of others. Too often we place our sense of value in the hands of those around us, waiting for their validation, their approval, their attention. We tell ourselves that if only they saw us a certain way, or if only they appreciated us more, we would feel worthy. But the truth is, no matter how much attention or approval we receive from others, it will never truly fill the void we feel inside if we don't first recognize our own worth. We live in a world where external validation is often placed on a pedestal. Social media likes, compliments, and acknowledgments from others can feel gratifying for a moment, but that feeling is fleeting. It comes and goes as quickly as the wind, leaving us once again searching for the next source of affirmation. If we allow our self-worth to be defined by these external factors, we will always be at the mercy of what others think, constantly chasing something that will never provide lasting fulfillment. True worth is something that comes from within. It is not something that can be given to us by another person. It is something we must claim for ourselves. You are already enough, just as you are, without needing anyone else to confirm it. Your value does not fluctuate based on someone else's opinion of you. It is constant, unwavering, and inherent in your very being. Imagine what it would feel like to live without the need for external validation, to walk through life knowing that you are complete exactly as you are. This doesn't mean that you don't value others or their thoughts, but it means that your sense of self is no longer dependent on them. You are not diminished because someone fails to notice your greatness, and you are not elevated because someone praises you. You are whole, independent of what the world reflects back to you. When we detach our worth from the opinions or attention of others, we step into our own power. We no longer need to prove ourselves or seek approval to feel good about who we are. Instead, we turn inward, recognizing that our worth is inherent and unshakable. It is not something that can be added to or taken away by anyone else. It simply is, and it is enough. The process of claiming your worth begins by letting go of the need to be seen in a certain way. It's about releasing the belief that you must fit into others' expectations or meet their standards to be valuable. Your worth is not a performance. It's not something you earn by being good enough for others. It's something you carry with you at all times, whether or not anyone else acknowledges it. In this space of self-awareness, you realize that your value is infinite. You are worthy simply because you exist, and this worth does not require the attention or recognition of others. It is a truth that lives within you, waiting to be fully embraced. This expansion focuses on detaching self-worth from external opinions, promoting the idea that true value comes from within and is constant regardless of others' perceptions. The conclusion is deliberately left out. The care we give ourselves is the foundation upon which our entire lives rest. It is not selfish or indulgent to prioritize our own well-being, rather. It is essential. The relationship we have with ourselves is the longest and most intimate connection we will ever experience. When we neglect our own needs, when we fail to nourish our hearts and minds, we begin to see the effects ripple out into every aspect of our lives, our relationships, our work, and even our health. The most important care is the care we give ourselves because it sets the standard for how we engage with the world. When we treat ourselves with kindness, compassion, and respect, we teach others how to treat us as well. It begins with the small things, allowing ourselves time to rest, speaking words of encouragement instead of criticism, and honoring our feelings as they arise. These acts of self-care send a powerful message to our subconscious mind: I am worthy of love. I am deserving of care. Self-care is more than just pampering. It is a way of acknowledging our own value. It involves recognizing our needs and taking action to fulfill them. It means listening to our inner voice and trusting that we know what is best for our own growth and healing. When we give ourselves the care we need, we fill our own cup so that we have something to give to others from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Too often, we are conditioned to believe that caring for ourselves comes last. We are taught to put others first, to sacrifice our own needs in the name of being good or selfless. But true self-care is not about neglecting others. It's about creating a strong foundation within ourselves so that we can show up more fully in our lives. When we are depleted, we cannot give our best to those we love, nor can we fully embrace the opportunities that life presents to us. The care we give ourselves is a sacred practice. It's not about fixing something that is broken or changing who we are to meet some ideal. It's about honoring the whole, beautiful person that we already are. It's about recognizing that we have a responsibility to ourselves to live a life that feels nourishing and supportive. When we take time for self-care, we are not withdrawing from the world, we are preparing ourselves to engage with it more meaningfully. We must learn to be our own best friend, our own greatest advocate. This means treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would extend to someone we love dearly. It means forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and embracing our imperfections with a loving heart. Self-care is an ongoing, evolving process, and it requires us to pay attention to what we truly need in each moment. By committing to our own care, we empower ourselves to live from a place of strength and wholeness. We become more resilient, more at peace, and more connected to the source of love that lies within us. This is the kind of care that transforms us from the inside out, creating a ripple effect that touches every part of our existence. This expansion emphasizes the importance of self-care as a fundamental and transformative practice, highlighting its impact on all areas of life without concluding the message. For so much of our lives, we may find ourselves looking outward for validation, seeking approval from others to feel worthy, loved, or enough. We measure our value based on the praise we receive, the attention we get, or the roles we fulfill. While there is nothing wrong with enjoying recognition or appreciation, the true challenge arises when we depend on these external sources to define who we are. The moment we rely on others to give us a sense of worth, we hand over our power and make our happiness conditional. Shifting from seeking external validation to embracing self-acceptance is a journey inward, a return to our true selves. It begins with recognizing that we are whole, not because of what we achieve or how others see us, but simply because we exist. It means letting go of the belief that we need someone else's permission to feel good about who we are. When we turn inward, we discover that the validation we seek has been available to us all along, and that it comes from accepting ourselves exactly as we are, flaws, imperfections, and all. Self-acceptance is not about settling or giving up on growth. It's about embracing ourselves in the present moment without judgment. It's about recognizing that we are on a journey and that where we are right now is exactly where we are meant to be. When we practice self-acceptance, we stop resisting ourselves and start embracing our uniqueness. We acknowledge that we are worthy of love and respect, not because of what we do, but because of who we are at our core. This shift requires us to question the beliefs we've internalized over time, beliefs that tell us we need to be a certain way to be worthy. These beliefs often stem from childhood, society, or past experiences, but they are not the truth of who we are. As we begin to let go of these outdated notions, we create space for a deeper understanding of our true nature. We realize that we are not defined by our achievements, our appearance, or others' opinions. We are defined by the love, light, and potential that reside within us. The path to self-acceptance involves cultivating a kind and compassionate relationship with ourselves. It means giving ourselves the understanding we might extend to a dear friend and finding the courage to speak gently to ourselves, even in moments of doubt or struggle. When we learn to value our own approval above all else, we free ourselves from the constant need for others to validate our worth. By embracing self-acceptance, we empower ourselves to live authentically, without the fear of judgment or rejection. We no longer feel the need to perform or conform to others' expectations. Instead, we allow ourselves to show up in the world as we truly are, knowing that we are already enough. This is not an overnight transformation, but a continuous practice of choosing to honor our own value each day. This expansion focuses on the journey from seeking external validation to embracing self-acceptance, promoting an inner transformation toward unconditional self-love and worthiness without a concluding message. Our thoughts and beliefs are powerful forces that shape our experiences and ultimately define the reality we live in. Every day, we engage in a constant dialogue with ourselves, weaving narratives about who we are, what we can achieve, and how we relate to the world around us. This inner conversation sets the stage for how we perceive our lives and ourselves. When we understand that our thoughts are not just fleeting ideas, but the very foundation upon which we build our reality, we begin to see the immense power we hold. Every thought carries energy. Every belief shapes our experience. If we constantly think thoughts of doubt, fear, or unworthiness, we create a reality that reflects those beliefs. We may find ourselves in cycles of negativity, feeling stuck or limited by circumstances that seem beyond our control. It's as if we wear blinders, only seeing the world through the lens of our self-imposed limitations. But the moment we shift our thoughts to ones of possibility, hope, and love, we open the door to a new reality, one where opportunities and joy abound. The journey to understanding the impact of our thoughts begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to listen to your inner dialogue. What are the recurring themes in your thoughts? Do you often criticize yourself, or do you encourage and uplift yourself? Becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward transformation. When we shine a light on our beliefs, we can begin to discern which ones serve us and which ones hold us back. Beliefs, especially those formed in childhood, can be deeply entrenched, often operating below our conscious awareness. We might carry beliefs that we are not enough, that we must strive endlessly for approval, or that success is unattainable. Recognizing these limiting beliefs is crucial. They may feel like truths, but they are simply narratives that can be rewritten. Just as we can choose our thoughts, we can also choose our beliefs, consciously deciding to replace negativity with affirmations of self-worth and possibility. It's important to practice kindness toward ourselves as we navigate this journey. Changing deeply ingrained thoughts and beliefs takes time and patience. As we challenge the negative stories we tell ourselves, we must also celebrate the small victories along the way. Each moment of self-acceptance, each instance of speaking kindly to ourselves, is a step toward a more empowering reality. Affirmations can be a powerful tool in this process. By consciously affirming our worth, our abilities, and our right to happiness, we begin to reprogram our minds. Statements such as, "I am enough, I deserve love, and I am capable of achieving my dreams," serve as reminders of our inherent power. The more we repeat these affirmations, the more we begin to internalize them, and soon they become part of our belief system. As we shift our thoughts and beliefs, we start to notice changes in our external world. Opportunities begin to appear, relationships deepen, and we find ourselves moving toward the life we desire. Our reality becomes a reflection of the love and positivity we cultivate within. We are no longer passive participants in our lives, but active creators of our destiny. Understanding that our thoughts and beliefs create our reality is liberating. It empowers us to take responsibility for our lives, knowing that we have the ability to change our circumstances through the lens of our minds. We can break free from the chains of limiting beliefs and step into a reality filled with possibility, love, and abundance. This expansion emphasizes the power of thoughts and beliefs in shaping our reality, focusing on self-awareness and the transformative potential of positive thinking without a concluding message. Vulnerability is often perceived as a weakness, a state to be avoided or concealed at all costs. Society tends to celebrate stoicism and strength, teaching us to put on a brave face and shield ourselves from discomfort. However, embracing vulnerability is one of the most profound acts of courage we can undertake. It is an invitation to be authentic, to connect deeply with ourselves and others, and to fully experience the richness of life. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we strip away the protective layers we've built and reveal our true selves. This can feel frightening, as it exposes us to potential judgment or rejection. Yet it is precisely in these moments of openness that we find the potential for genuine connection and intimacy. When we show our true selves, our fears, our insecurities, our hopes, we invite others to do the same. This creates a beautiful space for understanding, empathy, and mutual support. Vulnerability is not about seeking pity or appearing weak. Rather, it is a bold declaration of our humanity. It acknowledges that we are all imperfect beings navigating a complex world. By embracing our vulnerabilities, we allow ourselves to be real and authentic, which fosters deeper relationships and connections. When we share our struggles, we create a bridge of understanding that transcends isolation, allowing us to bond with others on a profound level. In this journey, it's important to practice self-compassion. When we face our vulnerabilities, we may encounter feelings of shame or self-doubt. Rather than judging ourselves harshly, we can choose to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. It is essential to remember that everyone experiences moments of vulnerability. It is a shared aspect of the human experience, and by acknowledging this, we can cultivate a sense of belonging. Moreover, embracing vulnerability can be transformative. It opens us up to new possibilities and experiences that we may have previously shied away from. When we allow ourselves to take risks, whether in relationships, career choices, or personal growth, we often find that we are capable of so much more than we believed. Each time we lean into our vulnerability, we expand our capacity for joy, love, and fulfillment. Think about the moments in your life when you have allowed yourself to be vulnerable. Perhaps you shared a fear with a trusted friend, expressed your true feelings in a relationship, or took a leap of faith toward a new opportunity. These instances often lead to some of our most profound and meaningful experiences. They remind us that it is in our vulnerability that we discover our strength, resilience, and capacity for growth. By embracing vulnerability, we also create space for self-acceptance. We begin to recognize that it is okay to be imperfect, to have flaws, and to feel uncertain. This acceptance fosters a sense of freedom, allowing us to be more present and authentic in our lives. Instead of striving for an unattainable ideal, we can honor ourselves as we are, celebrating our unique journey and the lessons we learn along the way. Ultimately, vulnerability is an essential part of the path to personal empowerment. It is a declaration that we are willing to show up fully, to engage with life on a deeper level, and to embrace the unknown with an open heart. When we recognize vulnerability as a strength, we step into our true power, unlocking the potential for connection, growth, and a richer experience of life. This expansion focuses on the transformative power of embracing vulnerability, emphasizing its role in fostering authentic connections, self-acceptance, and personal empowerment without concluding the message. Forgiveness is one of the most profound gifts we can offer ourselves. It is often misunderstood as a concession or an act of weakness, but in truth, it is a powerful act of love for ourselves and for our journey. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or anger weighs us down, creating heavy burdens that cloud our hearts and minds. These feelings can consume our energy, prevent us from moving forward, and keep us tethered to past pain. But when we choose to forgive, we take a courageous step toward liberation. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others or minimizing the hurt we've experienced. It's about releasing the hold that those experiences have on us. It's an act of self-care, a decision to free ourselves from the shackles of negativity that can drain our spirit. By forgiving, we create space for healing, growth, and renewal. It is an acknowledgement that while the past may have shaped us, it does not have to define our future. When we harbor resentment, we may feel justified in our anger, but that anger only serves to hurt us in the long run. It can manifest as stress, anxiety, or even physical ailments. The weight of unresolved feelings can become a burden we carry, affecting our well-being and our relationships. On the other hand, when we embrace forgiveness, we shift our focus from what was done to us to how we choose to respond. We reclaim our power, recognizing that we hold the key to our own healing. Forgiveness begins with a willingness to acknowledge our feelings. It is essential to honor the hurt, disappointment, or betrayal we've experienced. This acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but a necessary step in the process. By allowing ourselves to feel and process these emotions, we create a foundation from which true forgiveness can arise. We learn to understand the impact of the situation on our lives and give ourselves permission to let go. As we begin to practice forgiveness, we might also find it helpful to extend compassion to those who have wronged us. This does not mean we condone their actions, but it allows us to see them as human beings who, like us, are imperfect and fallible. Everyone has their struggles, and many act out of their pain or fear. By recognizing this shared humanity, we can cultivate empathy, making the process of forgiveness feel less daunting. Affirmations can be a powerful tool in this journey. By repeating phrases such as "I choose to forgive and release the past," or "I am worthy of peace and healing," we reinforce our intention to let go. These affirmations serve as gentle reminders that forgiveness is an ongoing practice, one that requires nurturing and commitment. The more we affirm our choice to forgive, the more we align our thoughts and actions with that intention. Additionally, forgiveness is not always about reconciling with those who have hurt us. Sometimes it may be necessary to forgive from a distance, choosing to release the burden of resentment while maintaining healthy boundaries. We have the right to protect our peace and well-being, and forgiveness does not require us to re-enter toxic or harmful situations. It's about liberating ourselves from the emotional weight so that we can step forward into a brighter, more expansive future. Through the practice of forgiveness, we create a ripple effect in our lives. As we let go of old grudges, we often find that we become more open, loving, and compassionate. Our relationships flourish when we no longer carry the burdens of the past. We invite joy, lightness, and clarity into our lives, making room for new experiences and connections that resonate with our authentic selves. Ultimately, the power of forgiveness lies in its ability to free us from the past, allowing us to live fully in the present. It transforms our relationship with ourselves and with others, fostering a sense of peace that emanates from within. When we choose to forgive, we take a bold step toward reclaiming our joy and embracing the beautiful possibilities that life has to offer. This expansion emphasizes the transformative power of forgiveness in releasing burdens, promoting healing and personal empowerment without providing a concluding message. Nurturing our inner child is one of the most profound acts of self-love and healing we can undertake. Each of us carries within us a younger version of ourselves, filled with dreams, creativity, and the raw emotions that often get overshadowed by the demands of adulthood. This inner child holds our earliest experiences, both joyful and painful, shaping how we view ourselves and the world around us. When we neglect this vital part of ourselves, we miss out on opportunities for healing and growth. Recognizing and connecting with our inner child allows us to reclaim lost joy and innocence. It invites us to explore the unfiltered, authentic aspects of who we are, those qualities that may have been pushed aside in favor of conformity or practicality. When we engage with our inner child, we invite back the wonder, curiosity, and creativity that often dwindle in the face of life's challenges. This process is not just about looking back, it is about embracing and integrating those experiences into our current lives. The first step in nurturing our inner child is to acknowledge its presence and the emotions that come with it. Often the inner child carries unresolved feelings from childhood, including fear, shame, or sadness. These feelings are not merely echoes of the past, they are the keys to understanding our present behavior and responses. By validating these emotions, we give our inner child permission to express itself, to be heard, and to be felt. This acknowledgement is essential for healing. Creating a safe space for our inner child is crucial. This can be achieved through practices such as journaling, meditation, or creative expression. When we sit down to write or draw, we can allow our inner child to speak freely. What does it want to say? What does it long for? By engaging in these creative outlets, we can access the unfiltered thoughts and feelings that might have been silenced over time. This process can be cathartic, allowing us to release pent-up emotions and rediscover our sense of self. In nurturing our inner child, it's also important to offer compassion and understanding. This means speaking to ourselves with kindness and support, just as we would to a young child who is scared or hurting. We can cultivate this compassionate voice by using affirmations such as "you are safe, you are loved, and you are enough." These affirmations help to reassure our inner child that it is not alone and that it deserves love and acceptance. Furthermore, engaging in playful activities can greatly benefit our inner child. Remember the things that brought you joy as a child: drawing, dancing, playing games, or simply exploring nature. By incorporating these activities into our lives, we rekindle that playful spirit and allow ourselves to experience pure joy without the constraints of adult responsibilities. This playfulness nurtures our inner child and helps us reconnect with our authentic selves. It's also essential to set boundaries that protect our inner child. This means recognizing and distancing ourselves from toxic relationships or environments that may cause harm. When we honor our inner child, we advocate for our needs and feelings, ensuring that we create a nurturing and supportive environment for growth. Establishing these boundaries is not only an act of self-care, but also a way to show our inner child that it is valued and deserving of respect. As we nurture our inner child, we begin to notice shifts in our lives. We may feel a greater sense of ease, creativity, and connection with ourselves and others. By integrating the lessons and emotions of our past into our present, we create a more holistic and authentic experience of life. This healing journey can lead to increased self-acceptance and a renewed sense of purpose. Ultimately, nurturing our inner child is a continuous process of love, understanding, and growth. It is about honoring the full spectrum of who we are and embracing all the experiences that have shaped us. By caring for our inner child, we embark on a beautiful journey of self-discovery, allowing us to live more fully and joyfully in the present moment. This expansion focuses on the importance of nurturing the inner child for healing and growth, promoting self-compassion, creativity, and joy without concluding the message. Living authentically is the essence of embracing who we are at our core. It means expressing our true thoughts, feelings, and values without fear of judgment or rejection. In a world that often encourages conformity and adherence to societal norms, the journey toward authenticity can feel daunting. Yet it is one of the most liberating and fulfilling paths we can take. When we align with our true selves, we invite a profound sense of joy, purpose, and fulfillment into our lives. To live authentically, we must first cultivate self-awareness. This involves taking the time to reflect on our beliefs, desires, and motivations. What truly resonates with us? What are our passions, our dreams, and our values? By tuning into our inner voice and allowing it to guide us, we begin to peel back the layers that may have masked our true selves. This process requires honesty and courage, as it may bring to light aspects of ourselves that we've long ignored or suppressed. As we explore our authentic selves, we may encounter fears or insecurities that have held us back. These fears often stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or the opinions of others. Acknowledging these fears is crucial. It allows us to understand their origins and recognize that they do not have to dictate our choices. By confronting our fears and choosing to move forward despite them, we take powerful steps toward living in alignment with our true selves. An essential part of this journey is learning to trust ourselves. Trusting our intuition and inner guidance is a vital component of authenticity. Each of us has an innate sense of what feels right or wrong for us. When we listen to this inner voice, we empower ourselves to make choices that resonate with our true nature. This might involve setting boundaries, pursuing new opportunities, or walking away from situations that no longer serve us. Trusting ourselves means believing in our worth and our ability to navigate the complexities of life. Living authentically also requires the courage to express ourselves openly and honestly. This can manifest in various ways, whether through our words, actions, or creative endeavors. When we share our thoughts and feelings, we invite connection and understanding into our lives. Authentic expression can be a liberating experience, allowing us to release pent-up emotions and share our unique perspectives with the world. It fosters deeper relationships and creates a sense of community with those who resonate with our truth. In this process, it is essential to embrace imperfection. Living authentically does not mean being flawless. Rather, it is about embracing our whole selves, including our quirks and vulnerabilities. Accepting that we are works in progress allows us to show up as we are, without the need for pretense. When we embrace our imperfections, we cultivate self-compassion and foster an environment where others feel safe to be themselves, too. Another key aspect of living authentically is aligning our actions with our values. When we make choices that reflect who we truly are, we create a sense of coherence in our lives. This alignment fosters a feeling of integrity and strengthens our self-identity. Whether in our personal relationships, careers, or creative pursuits, living in accordance with our values enhances our sense of purpose and fulfillment. As we embark on the journey of authenticity, we may find that some relationships change, some connections may deepen, while others may fade. It is natural to outgrow relationships that no longer resonate with our authentic selves. Letting go of these connections can be challenging, but it is also an opportunity to make space for new relationships that support our growth and reflect our true selves. Ultimately, living authentically is an ongoing journey of self-discovery and evolution. It invites us to continually reassess who we are and how we wish to express ourselves in the world. As we embrace authenticity, we inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of courage and openness in our communities. The more we align with our true selves, the more vibrant and fulfilling our lives become. This expansion focuses on the journey of living authentically and aligning with our true selves, promoting self-awareness, trust, and expression without concluding the message. In closing, let us remember that the journey to self-discovery and empowerment begins within. While it may feel at times that nobody cares, the truth is that we hold the power to create a loving and supportive relationship with ourselves. By nurturing our inner child, embracing vulnerability, and letting go of burdens through forgiveness, we open ourselves to a life filled with authenticity and joy. Every thought and belief we entertain shapes our reality. And by consciously choosing positive affirmations and self-compassion, we can transform our inner dialogue into one of love and acceptance. The act of nurturing our true selves not only liberates us, but also invites others to connect with their own authenticity, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and compassion. As we embrace our true selves and live in alignment with our values, we foster a sense of belonging and purpose that transcends the notion of external validation. We recognize that our worth is inherent, not contingent on the approval of others. By embracing our unique journeys and honoring our feelings, we invite healing and growth into our lives. Let us walk forward with courage and love, understanding that each step we take in nurturing ourselves and embracing our truth is a powerful statement of self-worth. In this journey, we discover that we are never alone, for within our hearts lies the potential for connection, compassion, and joy. Together, let us celebrate our authenticity, knowing that when we care for ourselves, we create a brighter and more compassionate world.